Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I'm a master manifester, and you are too if you're watching content like this. The name of my channel is Manifesting Magic, the practical way, because there are very practical ways that we can manifest, right? And that's what I love to talk about. Everything that you can use in this very tangible world we live in and non-tangible to create and manifest the life that you specifically can be excited about every single day, right? And I have a life like that. So yeah, I'm excited about something happening and going on and how it's working every single day. And I think I want everybody to have that because it's pretty cool. What I'm discussing today is sometimes you miss yourself, right? So I find that so you never had a really good friend or something like that when you're like in elementary school and like the weekend used to seem like so awful because you wouldn't be able to play with them all weekend and you like playing these. Maybe we can go by each other's houses. Maybe we can visit. We can do this. And parents, you ain't got nothing to do with the parents. And it's like, you don't have no control over your weekend. You know what your parents are doing. And so, but like the longing for the little friend you had, I had one best friend like all throughout elementary school. And I'm still cool with her. I mean, I still can contact her to this day. She's purchased my books and everything. And yeah, so we had a good time throughout elementary and middle school and stuff. But we used to write letters to each other during the summertime, right? And put little pieces of candy inside of them. It was so cute. But during those times, I just remember the longing of wanting to hang with someone who really, really got me and I can be myself around and we could pay attention to each other and just enjoy each other, right? Um, I was just thinking about some of the shenanigans. We used to make up dance routines and everything. It's pretty funny. We were the kind of friends where her mama fussed at me in front of my face, like we saw all the embarrassment. But the thing about it is, the longing that would happen during those times of separation would make me feel like I was disconnected from something that had to do with myself, right? And I think about that when I'm like involved in life and involved in tasks and I'm not checking in with myself, right? I'm not reconnecting with myself. Sorry, I feel like hair is in my eye. It might be this little eyebrow ring I've been wearing since I was 18 years old. Why do I keep it? I don't know, because it's there. This thing is 20 something years old. I hope people don't think, oh, she's wearing that to be hip. Nah, I got this in 1999, 2001. To think about it. Sometimes I get hooked on my hair. But no, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking like sometimes you just get disconnected from yourself and who you are and what you want to bring to the table and what you give to yourself every day. Yesterday, I undertook a very aggressive, I'll say, task. It was the day before yesterday, actually, of doing my daughter's braids, right? Braids about the size of my locks. Oof. I've never done that to her waist. And I was just like, okay, when you start in the back and you start parting the hair, it's like, it looks so pretty. But as you're going up, you realize, look what I got myself into, right? Now, I'm not a braider. I just learned how to braid hair and connect hair to someone's head and braid it in. It's never been a task that I've ever done. I don't have any younger siblings. I learned how to do my daughter's hair and I mostly twisted their hair. They wore a lot of buns. I was on that. And they wore a lot of individual twists on their hair loose. And so or either I blew dried and flat ironed it, something like that. And so I was just doing this. And so it wound up going over into the next day. We did about 5 hours one day. Then we woke up the next day and brought the other one to school. This one had, free time at school. So we finished it. We started off around 11. We took several breaks. We must have fell in and out of love 10 times. But the whole time I was turned on to something that was outside of me, right? I was, making sure they had something to eat and doing hair. Got myself something to eat so I wouldn't pass out, getting back to the hair. And then my partner come home, he stands and he's just like, do you need anything? I'm like, nah. And then I hear tea going at 9 o'clock. I really got aggravated. I was like, nighttime tea at 9 o'clock? I was like, but I'm still braiding hair. My day, this can't be the whole day. Well, it was the whole day. But guess what? Today's a new day. But at the time, I was so agitated because I really just needed to spend time with myself. And I'm just a person that needs that. So after everybody was done and people went to bed, I really cleaned that room up, got all of the excess hairs that were flying around, vacuumed, straightened up everything. And then I got under a blanket and I got some tea and I sat there and listened to some music and audio for about an hour and a half. I needed to spend time with me. And I was like, dang, I've never seen that more clearly than I saw it yesterday. Like I genuinely missed hanging out with myself. And I was kind of sad that I didn't get to be able to do what Jameelah loves to do all day and what she loves to enjoy, right? So I think that we underestimate the importance of checking in and reconnecting with ourselves on some level, even if you do it when you're driving, in the car, in the grocery store. If you're a person that's like me and you love to spend time by yourself, so it's not that you don't like people, it's just that if someone asks you what's your favorite person to hang with, it's going to be you. It's just that's how I've been like that since I was a little bitty girl. And if I found a friend that I can hang with, that was always cool. But if I, was alone, I could always handle it with no problem, right? I just enjoyed my own company. And so I was sitting there thinking like, man, this feels so good. And I was like, what am I getting out of this? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm hanging out with Jameelah. I wasn't hanging out with her all day. I was hanging out with everybody else's needs all day. And I haven't done that like all day. My needs are not met and my time goes to something else all day. That hasn't happened in a while for me because my daughters are older now. I don't go through it much anymore. And so I was like, why am I aggravated? What is it? Because, I'm moody. But I usually get quiet though. I'm not a moody person that goes around bothering or poking the bears. I just get quiet. And so I was sitting there quiet and I was thinking like, oh yeah, I'm really enjoying this. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? You're just hanging out with yourself, right? So this is a short message. Don't underestimate the power of taking time to reconnect with you and things that you love and that you enjoy. Because sometimes when we get caught up in doing life with other people and having someone or somebody around 24/7, we don't realize that it's wearing on our ability to show up and to be fresh for other people, right? And that's what I find myself being challenged with way more often than not, is knowing when is the appropriate time to step back, reconnect, and take those breaks. And so I was doing her hair, and I remember we talked, and it's like then we disagree on something, then we're quiet for a while. It's just so funny to watch that mother-daughter thing happening. And then I'm sitting there, and I'm just thinking when we got quiet, and then I was like, oh, she probably has a little attitude. She can be quiet. But then I was like, wait, I don't even want to talk. So we must have been silent for like 45 minutes to an hour more than once. And I'm like, that is kind of like the way that we should do. And you don't have to be aggravated. You don't have to have an attitude. You don't have to be angry to have that boundary for yourself. I always tell my daughters that boundaries do not equal aggravation, right? You set the boundary. People don't respect the boundary. Then you have rules that you set up for yourself about how you handle people not respecting the boundary, right? I have a real strong boundary of talking on the phone with particular people. It's just what I don't do it. I've gotten on the phone with them before. I'm not so much connected anymore that I have to do it. So I was doing it as a favor to almost to them a little bit. It's not like a favor, but just to be available. And I realized I didn't have to do that. I was like, I don't have to talk on the phone. I was like, I can send a text message, right? I just don't want to chat with this person. I don't have to anymore. And I'm just not going to do it. It's not even necessary. And so I was like, I'll send a text message. And so the other day I got a message from this person saying, call me when you get a chance. I said, okay. I'm like, I've mentioned several times before that I didn't want to talk on the phone, that it's okay if you send a text message, but they're determined to have a phone call with me. And I'm like, it's okay. I said, okay. So whatever they needed, eventually 3 days later came through a text message. So you have to tell yourself that it's okay to have those boundaries, especially when it comes to specific people. If you don't feel like a phone conversation is beneficial or fruitful for you because of the time of day or because of the person themselves or because of the frequency of the calls or whatever it is or whatever you're going through, you have to be okay with setting a boundary and not being upset with it. Boundaries are systems, right? So you have a system in place about how you're going to handle something that doesn't create what you want in your life, right? Real clear boundaries. This is okay. This is a behavior in a relationship that even if I care about somebody, I can't stand for or something like that. Say you're a person that's like, this is a real big one, woman. It's infidelity. You're like, this is a real important boundary for me. Even though I care about the person, I can't in good faith keep going in this thing. Or of a friendship or something like that. And they treat you a certain way or they look at you a certain way or they don't do something that you think a friendship should consist of. If you have that boundary in place, you'd be like, wow, that was a good relationship, but that's a deal breaker for me. So you have to think about what are those things that you need. And when you see that you need them, take the time to reconnect with yourself, because sometimes you really, really, really just miss yourself. That's it. And all other people's dramas and problems take you away from yourself. And you really just got to get back to the quiet, small space of breathing deeply, of nobody else's needs or ideas or interactions taking any precedence in your life, and just be in that space, whether it's meditation, whether it's watching a movie, whether it's just sitting there listening to audio, whether it's writing something, no matter what it is that you do or get into. Because in my life, it's been different things that I use to reconnect. Right now, I use to reconnect is sitting still. It's very effective for me. I can go sit out on a patio and just like stare into the nothingness for a really long time and think, ponder, not ponder. And I really feel reconnected with myself. And so before you get off to the edge of aggravation, you get to the place where you feel lost and off kilter, you can really, really take moments and be like, okay, my Fitbit says time to reconnect. Whether or not I want to do it, let me just do that real quick. I think you'll be better off, right? Anyway, I hope you enjoy this content. Like I said before, the channel is Manifesting Magic the Practical Way. If you like what's being shared, subscribe. If you don't, then don't subscribe. If you like it, then like it. If you don't like it, then don't like it. And if you feel like you have something to say, make sure you comment. I love to read things and respond and all that good stuff, right? So people shouldn't just rev you up to comment on things when you don't like something. I used to do that all the time. Now I comment on things when I love it, and I make sure that I say it because I'm just like, hey, it's important for people to know that they're doing good work. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And until next time, bye.